Too lazy to change? Try this Japanese minimalist trick. Have you ever promised yourself you'd finally get rid of the clutter, start new habits, or just simplify life, only to end up scrolling on your phone instead? What if we told you the secret to change isn't about working harder, but about looking differently? Let's be honest, most of us know we should change something in our lives. Maybe it's the messy closet we keep avoiding, the endless online shopping, or even just that nagging feeling of having too much stuff around us. The problem isn't that we don't know what to do. The problem is we just don't feel like doing it. Laziness sneaks in, and suddenly another week passes with nothing different. But here's where Japanese minimalism comes in with a surprisingly simple idea. It's not about forcing discipline or pushing through with willpower. It's about creating a shift the moment you see something. This idea might sound almost too simple, but that's what makes it powerful. The first look trick. The Japanese call it first look minimalism. The trick is built on the understanding that our first impression of a space shapes how we act inside it. If the first thing we see when we walk into our home is a pile of shoes or stacks of unopened boxes, our brain automatically sinks into that same messy, heavy energy. But if the first look is clear, calming, and minimal, our brain relaxes and we naturally behave differently. We don't feel the weight of unfinished business. We feel lighter, and laziness loses its grip. Imagine walking through your front door and the first thing you see is a simple plant on a clean table with sunlight pouring in. That one glance sets the tone for the rest of your evening. Why it works on the brain? There's actually psychology behind this. Studies show that clutter increases stress and even spikes cortisol, which is the stress hormone. When we feel stressed, our brain wants quick comfort, like lying on the couch, grabbing junk food, or skipping that new habit we promised ourselves we'd try. But when our first visual impression is simple and ordered, our brain releases a sense of calm. That calm gives us the mental space to act differently. It's like we're tricking our brain into feeling capable and motivated without even trying. Japanese minimalism isn't about having nothing. It's about controlling what we see first. And that tiny adjustment, what our eyes meet at first glance, can completely shift our actions. Everyday example. Think about a kitchen. If the first thing we see when we step in is a counter covered with dishes, bags, and random mail, cooking suddenly feels like a huge task. Our brain says, too much work, let's order food instead. But if the first look is an open, clean counter with maybe a single bowl of fresh fruit, suddenly cooking doesn't feel like a chore. We're more likely to grab an apple, make tea, or start dinner without that heavy sigh. This is exactly how Japanese minimalism works in practice. It makes the path of least resistance the healthier, calmer one. And once we see that first look, our actions follow almost effortlessly. The power of laziness in our favor. Here's the funny part. Instead of fighting laziness, Japanese minimalism uses it. If we know we're too lazy to change habits through sheer effort, we can make the environment do the heavy lifting. Our brain is wired to take shortcuts. It follows cues without questioning them. So by controlling what we see first, we're basically giving laziness a gentle nudge in the right direction. It's not about waking up one day and throwing everything away. It's about setting up that one corner, that one entrance, that one first look, so laziness doesn't become a roadblock, but a secret helper. If we're going to be lazy, why not make it work for us? The Japanese entrance secret. In Japan, many homes are designed with something called a genkan. It's a small entryway where shoes are left neatly in place before stepping into the house. This simple design does more than keep dirt out. It creates a clean first impression. Imagine walking in and immediately seeing order, clarity, and space. That one moment reduces stress and encourages the same calm to spread through the rest of the home. Even in tiny apartments, the genkan acts as a visual reset button. And that's the beauty of this minimalist trick. You don't need a big home or fancy furniture. You just need that one first view to carry calm into your day. How this helps with habits. Now let's connect this to our daily struggles. Ever tried building a new habit, like reading more or exercising, only to give up after a few days? The first look trick can help here too. If the first thing you see when you walk into your living room is the TV remote, you'll naturally want to sit down and start watching. But if the first thing you see is a book sitting open on the table, you're far more likely to pick it up. The same goes for fitness. If workout gear is visible when you enter the room, your brain gets nudged toward action without you forcing it. Japanese minimalism turns our surroundings into quiet reminders. Instead of using up willpower, we just set up the right first look. Less pressure, more ease. What makes this so powerful is how it removes pressure. Change often feels heavy because we think we have to fight ourselves. But minimalism, especially the Japanese way, takes a softer path. It doesn't push, it guides. By focusing only on what we see first, we don't have to tackle everything at once. We can start small, and small wins build momentum. Over time, laziness doesn't feel like the enemy anymore, because the environment is already leading us where we want to go. That's why this trick feels so freeing. It makes change feel natural instead of forced. Applying it beyond home. And here's something many people overlook. The first look trick isn't just for our homes. It can work in our workspaces, our digital devices, even our mornings. For example, if the first thing we see when unlocking our phone is a row of distracting apps, we'll lose time without even thinking. But if we set the first screen to something simple, maybe even just a calming background with no clutter, the whole mood changes. The same goes for work desks. The first look at a desk covered in papers screams stress. But the first look at a clear desk with just one notebook signals focus. It's the same principle, just applied in different places. A shift in mindset. What's beautiful about this minimalist trick is that it changes how we think about effort. Instead of believing change has to be hard, we start seeing it as something that can be light, simple, and even enjoyable. Japanese minimalism teaches us that our spaces shape us, and when the first look gives us peace instead of stress, change stops feeling like climbing a mountain. It feels like taking a gentle step forward. We start noticing that laziness doesn't hold us back as much anymore because the environment is already leading us to where we want to go. That's the beauty of Japanese minimalism. It doesn't demand, it inspires. And the best part? The trick works instantly. The moment your eyes catch that first simple, calming sight, your actions quietly shift. So the next time you walk through your door, ask yourself, what's the first look you want to shape your life?